Welcome to our very first Techniques in Coloproctology interview.
To everyone, my name is Nicolas Avellaneda. I'm a colorectal surgeon from Argentina, and today I have the honor and the pleasure to be interviewing Rodrigo Perez. Rodrigo Oliva Perez, actually. He is a colorectal surgeon from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He has been my mentor for as long as I can remember, but also he has mentored a lot of other colorectal surgeons in Latin America and the world. And he's also an expert, an internationally renowned expert in rectal cancer. He has published a lot of things related to rectal cancer, operative management, non-operative management. But now I'm not interviewing him as an expert in rectal cancer, but actually I am interviewing him because he's the new editor-in-chief of Techniques in Coloproctology. Techniques in Coloproctology is an international journal which is receiving manuscripts related to colorectal surgery. And now the journal has a new editor-in-chief. He is Rodrigo, and now I'm presenting him. So Rodrigo, could you say some words about your career and what have you done before being the editor-in-chief of Techniques in Coloproctology?
Thank you for the kind introduction, and thanks for the idea of running this interview. It's a long way already. I think that we have all worked in multiple journals, and at some point, this is something that is, to me, a very prestigious, and I'm tremendously honored by the opportunity of being the editor-in-chief of Techniques in Coloproctology. Now, Techniques in Coloproctology is a journal which is not completely affiliated to a specific society. It has lots of bonds, and historically speaking was affiliated with the Italian Society of Colorectal Surgery, but it's not under the society, which has advantages and disadvantages of its own. And I think one of the advantages is it's completely independent journal. So it is less influenced by the opinion of the society itself, and it's almost exclusively influenced by the editorial board and the associate editors, which you are a part of. I think it's a big challenge. We had some brilliant past editors-in-chief, and I think that this is quite a challenge to move the journal forward. We are committed to improving as a continuum and following the steps of my predecessors. Obviously, we are interested in increasing the impact factor of the journal. As you know, many things are happening worldwide in terms of open access. So the publisher, Springer, is very much interested in moving forward towards open access, as multiple journals are also interested in. And we eagerly invite everyone to submit their work to our journal. We believe we are in the right track of moving forward. As a final comment, I would add that we have implemented a few changes over the last few months. I'm sure probably a lot of people have already noticed we've moved to a new platform, which is the Snap platform. Always that we move to a new platform, there are always hurdles that we have to go through. In addition to that, we are now doing regular monthly virtual discussion forums related to the published papers that we publish within the journal. And finally, we have regularly organized the visual abstract of specific manuscripts that are being published every month. So the editorial group picks one article to be pictured in a visual abstract to be shared within social media, which obviously you are a big part of, and I I thank you in public for the hard work.
So you have already mentioned that some changes are coming because now there's a new editorial board, and then some things that were different in the past now are beginning to change. As you said, you are making focus on social media for people to get their manuscripts seen by the rest of the world. This is something new. There's a new channel in YouTube where interviews and things are going to be recorded. But what about some people are concerned about that techniques used to have a long time from sending the manuscript to a final decision and to first decision and so on. So what can you tell to the people who are thinking about sending manuscripts in techniques? Are we going to see some changes in terms of timings?
That's a very good question, and I think it's an honest request from the authorship. Everyone who sends a manuscript wants to get a final decision through very shortly, either to publish or to send it somewhere else. And I honestly accept that. One of the big challenges, and has been a challenge not only for techniques, and I know for a fact that this is a challenge for all of the journals, that there is a shortage, that we have a difficulty in having manuscripts reviewed by experts in a meaningful way. As we were talking before this interview, the easiest way is to simply reject a manuscript. And we're trying to change this culture of not accepting to review and to simply rejecting manuscripts, because it's easy to find flaws and limitations within every single manuscript we submit. So as a different approach, we are trying to work with the authors to provide them with meaningful feedback and to work with them so that the manuscripts, even though sometimes are not perfect and not yet acceptable for publication, that they eventually become acceptable for publication, and actually that they become meaningful information for our readership. But unfortunately, that sometimes takes time and effort, and we are working hard and the best that we can to come up with a big group of reviewers that are willing to work with the authors to improve the quality of the submissions and to improve the quality of the final publications, so that we have, one, meaningful information for our readership, and two, in a sensible and acceptable time frame, so that the authors are not frustrated with the prolonged time. Having said that, I have to honestly say that moving from a different platform was a challenge, because at some point we had two platforms working at the same time. That was a challenge. Number two, because of the change in the editorial chief and the editorial board, we had also a few delays in the editorial process that I honestly think we are about to solve completely, and we're going to be steady in the turnaround times for the review of the manuscript. So I think this is an honest message for our readership and for our authorship, that this is going to be very stable throughout the rest of the year and the following period.
That's great. That's a good message for everyone, and then I think everyone should think about sending manuscripts to techniques. We'll work on the manuscripts, get back with the potential feedback, even if it's a rejection, they will get some good feedback to improving the manuscripts. And the last thing that I wanted to ask you is not about the journal itself, but actually about you in an inspirational way, because actually you're a colorectal surgeon who has gone all the way through being a reviewer first, then editor, then part of editorial boards of important journals, and now you are editor-in-chief. what's the way? What's the best? We have a lot of audience which is young, which is going thinking about going through the same path. What's the advice you can give to the young people who are starting about how to go through this road, which is tough, but at the end it seems that it gets a reward. So what advice would you give to the young people?
That's I think that's a good way of saying it. To be honest with you, Nicolas, I think that hard work is basically has to be on the recipe. There's no other way than hard work. I was watching Roger Federer give a graduation talk at Dartmouth that was published online a few weeks ago, and it's clear to me that even the most talented people, even the most talented individuals, they don't get anywhere without really hard work. And sometimes people don't acknowledge that. People think that what they're seeing is pure talent, and in most cases it's hard work. I think hard work is number one lesson. I think it's really important. The second part that I honestly believe in is I am fortunate to actually enjoy the work that I do. This is something that needs to be, an important part of what we do as individuals, as surgeons and physicians, and reviewers and editors and scientists. At the end of the day, we have to enjoy what we do. This and Angelita, who is my boss, and I have the fortune of spending time with her still. She always tells me that if you enjoy what you do and what you work with, you will never have to work in your life. So I think enjoying what you do is an important part. Um, uh, Being part of a journal is another important aspect, and I'm sure you are thinking, and as many of us think, why am I doing this? I don't get any financial compensation for this. But I like to see this as I did in the very beginning. I never did this for the money. This is actual an investment that you are doing in yourself. So whenever you are writing, whenever you are reviewing, whenever you are thinking about it, even though it may sound like a waste of time and lack of compensation, it's actually a lot of investment and usually pays off later on. So I think that it's an important message for the younger generations that this, even though may sound as a waste of time, it actually is not, and you are actually investing in yourself, and in addition to helping other people through the editorial process. So I think it's an important part of what we do. And as a final point is, if we don't do it, someone will have to do it. So I think you better save some time and do it yourself, because if you don't do it, someone else will have to do it. And I think that this is something that you have to bear in mind when dedicating some free time to the editorial process of scientific journals associated with colorectal surgery.
That's a fantastic answer. I think we can get an important, strong message for everyone, especially for the young guys like me that actually we are starting our process. So I want to thank you very much for your time today. I'm not going to take any more time of you. I know you have a lot of manuscripts to assess now that you are editor-in-chief. So I hope you have a good day. And well, Techniques is running now, so I hope everyone can send their manuscripts to the journal. We'll be very happy to receive them, right?
Thank you, Nicolas. Absolutely, yes. We're looking forward to everyone's submissions, and I think that this is a very challenging task, and I honestly thank you for embracing it with the group. You are a big part of this. And I thank you personally for helping us in multiple ways with the journal. I think that people like you make our lives much easier in terms of getting this through. So thank you very much for all your support.
Thank you, and have a good Sunday.
Good weekend to everybody. Bye now.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe and join us for future interviews and virtual sessions.